So for many of you who already know me, you know that I love Google AdWords. So I'm going to start by making my first point in explaining why I love Google AdWords. When it comes to promoting a private practice, I want to be where people are searching actively for a therapist. And in my opinion, just using some of that kind of intuitive or common sense marketing, when you're looking for a new therapist, the most likely place you're going to go to is Google. All right. So in terms of, I think, getting the most bang for your buck or getting in front of those people who are looking for therapy right now, Google AdWords is the way to go, especially if you're just getting started with digital marketing in your private practice. So both platforms, you have a lot of control over how much you're spending. They're both pay-per-click or PPC platforms. So there's a lot of commonalities in the platforms themselves, but the way that you should use them and kind of the strategy behind using them is quite different. All right, number 2. I want to explain why Facebook ads fail for most therapists in private practice. Most of the time they fail because you're doing one of a number of things. A lot of times you're just clicking to boost a post. So when Facebook shows you that little box that says, you just posted your recent blog entry, so let's boost that post, or boost it for $10. You can get in front of a few hundred people. Now, that might be kind of alluring or tempting, and you might even get a little bit of something out of it. You could get really lucky and maybe get a client. At the very most, you might just get a few clicks to your website or maybe a couple more likes on your Facebook page. Those aren't necessarily going to convert into clients. So if you're going to use Facebook ads, you need to have a clear goal in mind. Ideally, you have maybe a piece of content. You use that piece of content in the ad itself, and you capture that lead somehow. So you collect an email address or a phone number or something like that, and then you can work with that lead to potentially convert it into a paying client. Otherwise, if you're just trying to get more Facebook likes on your page for the sake of just getting more likes, I think you're going to be unhappy with that platform. Again, I think if you're going to pick one, at least one to start with, I'm going to say Google AdWords is the best place for you to start, especially if you're new in your practice or you just need people calling your practice now, getting more people in the door. I think it's going to be a more immediate way to promote your practice. The other thing that you can use Facebook ads for, especially if you're going to use the platform yourself rather than paying someone, is for the purposes of brand recognition, right? Or just brand awareness, getting your brand out there and in front of more people. You can do that as long as you know that those people who are seeing your ad are not necessarily going to convert right away. But the idea is that later, when they are starting their search for a therapist, they're going to be more likely to see you, recognize you, already have some sense of trust, even if they don't know why, and then pick up the phone and call. So, number 3, ideally you are doing both, but doing them for different purposes with different goals in mind. All right. So rather than making you choose either Google AdWords or Facebook ads, I think it's more a matter of timing, kind of which one first, and then can you manage to maybe use both? Whichever you choose, I want you to also keep in mind that in many situations, and especially in more populated areas, you might be running your ads yourself, whether it's Google AdWords or Facebook ads, and you are going to be competing against digital marketing pros. These are people who do digital marketing for a living. They went and studied this stuff just like you and I studied how to be a counselor or a psychologist, right? So keep that in mind, that in these, especially with Google AdWords, it is basically a bidding war over a keyword or a string of keywords. So if you're unhappy with your performance with Google AdWords, keep in mind that you're probably competing against a pro. And it might be worth your while, and you're going to see a better ROI in the end if you go ahead and hire someone. All right, hope I answered this question well today. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time.